Happy Halloween! Oh my goodness, today is Halloween and this video should be coming out to you on Halloween as well for a fun, kind of like spooky themed video. Okay, now confession time. I love the holidays. I do. I love the holidays. I love feeling festive and all of that fun stuff. I don't decorate for the holidays, especially not like Halloween or anything like that. I just don't. I don't know. Maybe once I have, like an actual house that is mine, that I'm not just going to be like packing things up and moving to rent elsewhere in a few years or something like that. Maybe then I will invest in some, really fun Halloween and like holiday decor. But as of right now, I just don't. So this is my kind of way to festive it up a little bit for Halloween. So today I want to talk about some of the like super cool plants that you could put into your collection if you want to cultivate like a really fun, spooky, kind of gothic, dark and dreamy plant space. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm super excited. I found some really, really cool plants. And then like I found the plants, that I wanted to talk about or that I think that I want to talk about for the most part today, but I found those a couple days ago. And just as I've been thinking about it more and more, I've also like thought of other plants, and then just like looking around my own collection, thought of, a couple other plants that was like, oh, yeah, those could be like spooky and sexy for like a dark, dreamy little plant space. So I'm super excited. Let's just go ahead and get into it here. It is officially chilly out today. I have just the lights on that I propped up in my fireplace, but I might actually try and light that Duraflame. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm terrified. So if there's no more videos after this, you know why. I'm just kidding. It'll be fine. I have a fire extinguisher. It'll be fine. But yeah, it was super cold today. I woke up and there was actually like a little bit of snow on the grass and on the roof. I'm disappointed to say. So we're officially here. I feel like we're gonna get like a lot of snow this winter. Knock on wood, I'm wrong. But yeah, so I made an appointment to get some new tires. So we'll be doing that this week. So that's a fun expense that I just love. But yeah, prepare yourselves for winter, you guys, because it's officially cold. It was 34 degrees out when I took the puppies for a walk this morning. So I've got my cozy blanket. I've got my cozy boy right here next to me. He has like never wanted to sit on this chair ever since we've been here. But I was like doing laundry the other day and I washed a bunch of the blankets that I just like cozy the dogs up with before I leave for work. And I just folded them and set them on this chair, and there were like 3 or 4 blankets stacked on here. And when it was like super high stacked, he just jumped up there and was like, oh yeah. So now this is like his new little cozy spot. What do you think, bud? Oh, you got a little sticky face. Are you cozy? Can I have a kiss? Oh, okay, I'll take it. Thank you. You got so much food on your face. Alrighty, so let me quit yapping about whatever and let's get into some spooky plants here, shall we? Wow, I immediately started off not doing well. Okay, well, there's this plant right here. I still want to show it even though I cannot figure out what the name is called. I really thought that when I took these screenshots that I got the names properly, but I did not. So this one is so freaking cool. First off, it looks like it's fuzzy. Like it also kind of looks dirty at first glance, but then when you like really get up in there, it's fuzzy. It's so beautiful. So it looks like the mature growth, mature leaves on here are like almost like a dark gray or like kind of a light black. They're so beautiful, so beautiful. But what really got me about this plant is the new growth when it comes in, is this like light fuzzy purple. Well, I guess it's not that light of a purple, but it's just like a fuzzy purple, and they just look like these fuzzy little fingers sticking out. Do you know what I'm saying? Can you picture it? Do you see it? Do you see the fuzzy fingers? Oh, I just think it is so cute. It almost kind of looks like a terrarium plant with just like its size. But then like the actual foliage itself, I would not think is necessarily a terrarium plant with it looking so fuzzy. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm gonna try to figure out the name of this plant while I'm editing this video. But if I can't figure it out, drop what you think it is down in the comments below for this first plant because it is so cute and I feel like it would just be a beautiful like space filler plant. And in calling it a space filler, I feel like kind of dumbs it down because it is such a beautiful plant. But I mean, I feel like who doesn't want like just bangers for space fillers? I mean, come on. Okay, let's see here. All right, so this next one, I tried to have plants, I'm struggling with this blanket. I tried to have plants that weren't super obvious because, you know, we have the obvious spooky, sexy plants that are super, super dark foliage, like your Raven ZZ, you know. She's obviously dark and sexy and spooky and we love her, but she's kind of an obvious pick. So I tried to kind of stay away from those ones, but there were a couple that I just have to mention because they're so beautiful. They are so dark and sexy. And this one in particular just gives off that like ooey gooey alien vibe to it. And I'm sure you already know what I'm talking about, but this is the Alocasia cuprea. The picture that I'm showing you right now of this man holding this plant, first off, he looks so proud, as he should, but this plant is so cool. Oh my God. It's so cool. Six toe. Do you see? He just like opened his eyes. He does not care. But it's just such a beautiful plant. And this is a plant that does, even though it is like a little bit more maybe common of a plant within the, you know, the plant people community, within like normal humans that don't know and obsess about plants all the time, like us, this plant is a freaking showstopper. It is so wild looking. It looks like it's wet sometimes. Like it's just, it's so cool. It's so alien. It's almost kind of grotesque looking, but in like the best way possible. I don't know. Like I have heard some people say that this plant is just like disgusting looking to them and they just cannot with this plant, but I can't say I agree. I think it is absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness. So yeah, Alocasia cuprea. Maybe that'll be my last common one other than that ZZ there. But it's not gonna. I'm gonna sprinkle in a couple other ones, but they're just fun. And you might need them if you're trying to cultivate a sexy, spooky space. So, okay, let's see here. Ooh. Sorry, I'm like, I already forgot which plants I took screenshots of. Okay, this next one is so sexy from the colors, from the shape, the just everything. It like blooms beautiful flowers. I can feel my eyes getting watery. I'm gonna get emotional about plants today. Just don't judge me, okay? It's been a really, really long week. From hell. But anyway, this plant is so sexy. Here she is. This is the Jurassic Silver Swirl Rex Begonia. Ugh, I mean, come on, she's so sexy. Are you kidding me? I mean, I know I'm showing you right now on the screen here, but it's so sexy. And I'm sure that like the saturation or exposure or whatever has been messed with a little bit, just kind of based on like how these people's floors are looking. Like I'm sure they adjusted that a little bit to kind of really bring the coloration out. But at the same time, I feel like the color has got to be pretty close because I've seen some of these, or at least something that's very similar in person before, and they truly are just like so sexy. Ugh. Now, I will say one thing that I don't love about, I guess just like most of these Rex Begonias in general, is the way that they feel. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because how often are you going around just like feeling your plants? I mean, you might be doing it a lot, but maybe you're not, and so it doesn't matter, but they do kind of feel like a little bit rough, like The only thing I could really equate it to is like a cat's tongue. If you grew up with cats or have cats, you probably know what I'm referring to. But yeah, it's a very interesting feel. But holy Toledo, it's so sexy. I mean that like swirl as you get closer, like in the center of the leaf, or I guess it's like the, what am I looking for? Like the lobes overlapping essentially is kind of how that's growing. I feel like that's what is happening here, but it's so beautiful. It's so, so beautiful. And for the most part, Rex Begonia are pretty easy to care for, and you can find them like pretty much anywhere. You can find them at big box stores and grocery stores and all kinds of stuff. If you just kind of keep your eyes peeled, you might find one of these and be like, oh, okay, sexy, come home with me. So yeah, such a cool plant. Have to shout out a begonia. This is not going to be the only begonia on this list, that's for sure. I had to like hone down the begonia because you know they can be dark and sexy, right? Like, okay. So I literally have to scroll by like a few begonia. Ooh, okay, so this next one, this one used to be, if I'm thinking this is the same plant, and if I'm correct, but this plant used to be in big box stores, and like when it came out, everyone was like, oh my God, this is so cool, and then it quickly fizzled out, and I never hear about it, ever. Maybe I'm just not in the correct planty circles, but I never hear about this plant anymore. Like you heard about it for like that month that it came out from like Costa Farms, I'm sure, and then that was it. That was it. Okay. I'm gonna butcher this. Geogenanthus, is it Geogenanthus or just no, it's gotta be Genanthus. You wouldn't just skip that whole thing and say Geonanthus, and then it would just be Geonanthus. So it's gotta be Geogenanthus. Geogenanthus? That doesn't sound right. Anyway, it's that. Ciliatus. I'm sure it's ciliatus. So Geogenanthus ciliatus is how I'm gonna pronounce this sucker. I'm sure it's just brutally wrong, but this plant is so cool. Now, I will say, I feel like when this plant initially came out on the market and people were starting to get them into their homes, there was a huge issue that people were having with spider mites. And I think that's because this plant is kind of related maybe to like a calathea, maybe? Am I making that up? Let me do a quick Google search. No, it's not. Not at all, but they are both native to South America and are similar to care for. Whatever. Maybe they're similar to care for in that they don't want to get super, super dry, so maybe that inherently means that the spider mites are going to be more attracted to them. Maybe that's the similarity there. But either way, I do remember hearing that these plants were very prone to spider mites, so if you do see one of these sexy plants out in the wild, do make sure that you are checking for pests before you purchase, and by doing that, do not just check the tops of the leaves, also check the backs. Now, the good thing about this dark, sexy plant, and really any of these like super dark, almost black-leaved plants that we're looking at today, is that they're gonna be really easy to spot pests on, because most pests, well, I'm gonna say most pests, okay, they're gonna be easy to spot most pests on because of that super dark leaf. Everything that like sits on top of it is going to contrast so much, so you are going to see little spider mites. You're gonna especially see the women, but you're probably gonna see the little spider mite like eggs and just like them themselves creepy crawling around on there, and that is not the kind of spooky we're trying to have in our plant collections. You know what I mean? We're just trying to have it look spooky, not actually have a bunch of creepy crawlers that we did not invite. So definitely check out your plants for pests before you buy them. But if you could score one of these suckers for like a really good price at a big box store or something still, and it's not infested, and you get it home and you treat it and blah, 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 blah. It's such a sexy plant. Like, it's so cool. The leaves are so thick and rubbery. I remember looking at these when they first came out too, and I just got scared. I had been scarred by too many calathea and maranta and alocasia with spider mites that I was just like, not gonna risk the biscuit. So I left these guys behind, but I don't think I found a picture of the undersides of the leaves, but I remember the undersides of the leaves being like this really deep purple, or maybe a deep magenta, one of the two, but them just being like, but they're just being so, so pretty. So definitely check out this plant if you are into that kind of thing. Again, I just love how like thick and juicy those leaves are. They kind of remind me of a rubber tree almost, so it's kind of cool. Okay, let's move along to the next plant here. Okay, okay. This one is kind of different. So this one we're going a different route. We're shifting from like super dark leaves to more kind of spooky, ghostly leaves. What do we think about that? I kind of like it. So this first plant that we're going to check out that is like this is, oh, where'd she go? Oh no, I lost her. Oh, there she is. Okay, this is an Alocasia. Check this out. Now, upon first glance, I thought this was some sort of Anthurium, just because of like the way that the leaf shape is and the way that the leaf texture looks like it would be. Like it looks like it would be just like a tougher, thicker leaf, you know, kind of like an Anthurium. So that's why I thought that at first. But no, it indeed is not, or in fact, is not an Anthurium. It's an Alocasia. This is Alocasia venom. Spooky name. I guess not spooky, but you know, kind of scary and, you know, badass or whatever. But this guy is such a cool looking plant. I found a bunch of photos of this plant. I will say, in order for it to look, I think, its sexiest, it needs to be in the correct lighting. Now that's not to say it doesn't always look good, because I do think this plant pretty much always looked really, really good. But I feel like you maybe need to have the correct lighting or maybe warmth or something like that in order to achieve this like super kind of gray white leaf. I'm not really sure, but you can kind of see if you kind of like zoom in at like the older leaf that you can see in this photo, it doesn't look as dark or as like light gray. It looks like that gray has kind of more stuck to the veination of the leaf. So I'm not sure if that is something that just like happens over time as the leaf matures, or if that is just due to the conditions or what. So let me know if you have Alocasia venom, or if you have anyone that knows about it. Definitely drop some knowledge in the comments, because this one I found so intriguing. Do you know what I just realized too? Is that the tip of it is like all pointy, almost like a stingray. So cool. So cool, you guys. Oh my goodness. I just realized I didn't brush my teeth after I had lunch. And part of my lunch included like a tortilla wrap. Well, I guess that was my lunch, but I'm so sorry if I have tortilla in my teeth and I just haven't realized this whole time. Ugh. Okay, so sticking with that kind of lighter, ghostly theme, I can't believe I was gonna skip past this baby, and I have her in my own collection. The Florida Ghost. I mean, spooky. I love this plant, especially since moving back here. It's like, it's just, she's blossomed. Look at her. Look at how many white leaves she has at once, you guys. Never has this happened in my history with this plant. Have I had so many white leaves at once? She's so happy. I've had this lady living in my Ikea cabinet, and she's pretty close to the grow light, and she clearly really enjoys it. Like, I just can't get over that. So cool. Such a fun plant to have in your collection that just like, again, it's just another showstopper plant where it's like, whoa, what's going on here? Is that okay? Is that gonna die? Like, what's going on here? But no. She's just doing her thing. So cool. And you can see on this leaf here how that green is starting to turn, or how I guess the white is starting to turn to green, to be more accurate there. Such a beautiful plant. And then, is this one of the older leaves? Oh, here, you can kind of see it on this one too. Right down the center there, it's starting to get a little bit like heathered green. So cool. Oh my goodness. I'm digging her. Like, this is a plant that I ignored for so long, and now this is a plant that I literally go in and look at her every single day, and I'm just like, what are you doing today? And today, she's been popping out this new leaf, or like unfurling her, and can you see, like, how stinking pretty that is? It's like a little white fruit roll-up. So cool. So spooky. Let's see, I have a lot of other plants here, but I don't want this video to be so long, because I want to be able to get this out pretty quickly for you guys. So let me just pick a couple other plants here that I think are super sexy and just like really, just flung my phone, that really just like add to that vibe that we're going for here. Okay, so, oh my God, I immediately lost it. Okay, so this one is so cool. This is a Begonia chlorosticta. Now, I'm sure if you guys are like really into begonia, this is probably one of the first ones that like came to mind with like a spooky plant, because this one just screams goosebumps to me. Do you know what I mean? If you're a child of the 90s, you know what I'm talking about. This screams goosebumps. It's so cool. I just love it. Like, she looks like she is poisonous, like you shouldn't touch her, like a poisonous frog or something. I don't know. I absolutely dig it. Sir, can we quit licking our paws? Hey. Yeah. Thank you. I love you. A really good boy. But anyway, Begonia chlorosticta, so freaking cool. And I want to say this is one of those, this is one of those begonias that, like, when you really zoom in, you can tell that it's got that like really sexy kind of velvety sheen, sort of like the philodendron micans has, which I did not put in this video, but as an honorable mention, like a philodendron micans is like a super sexy plant. It's like dark and dreamy, hanging off a bookshelf, just like, for that, what's that, like, that like Pinterest style, one of those things. Oh, like dark academia. Ooh, you know what I'm talking about? A micans hanging off your bookshelf with a chlorosticta also sitting on one of the lower shelves. Get out of town. Maybe in a cute little cloche. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me find the last one I want to do. Okay. All right, listen. We're going to have to do a grouping for the last one because I just don't want to show you just one more picture. So I'm going to have a few pictures flowing through here. I will try to have the names of these plants attached to these photos. But if I'm having a hard time with that, you will at least see every single like person's Instagram account that these photos are from, so you can go and like do yourself a little deep dive if you are so interested. And of course, go give these people a follow because they've got some sick plants. Who am I? Sick plants. They have some really cool plants. You know what I'm saying. Okay, so the grouping that I want to show you guys today is going to be like those big, dark, sexy, heart-shaped leaves of, now this is a big grouping, stick with me, of Alocasia and of Anthurium, okay? Because you can get, from both like families of plants, you can get such sexy dark leaves. Okay, so this first one I want to show you here is from Sound of Stars. Now, I had a hard time not just screenshotting, I also have a hard time saying screenshotting, so I want to say screenshotting, but that's not what we're doing. But I had a really hard time at not just taking photos of every single one of this person's Instagram photos for this video, because she is just the vibe of this entire video. I mean, her entire plant collection is so gorgeous. First off, so gorgeous, but also just like completely fits this vibe. Like, she is this vibe. So this plant here is it's actually a colocasia. All right, listen. Colocasia and alocasia are the same thing. Fight me about it. They're the same thing. Okay? We'll find out in a couple years. They'll be like, oh yeah, they're the same thing. And we'll be like, Madison said They're the same. Okay, but anyway, this is a Colocasia diamond head. It's freaking massive. Look at her hands. First off, you know her nails are like super long, and it looks so good by the way, but you know her nails are super long and they don't even like kind of cover this leaf. This leaf is so big. So this is one of those giants that you could grow like outside. In fact, it looks like she is growing hers outside. Maybe she just took it out for the photo, who knows, but it looks like it could be one of those that is just like growing out in your landscaping that is like as tall as you are. So incredible. Okay, I'm just gonna try and flow through these pretty quick here. This next one here is from Caleb's Tropicals. I don't know why I'm telling you the names now of the accounts, but here we are. Anthurium Ace of Spades Cross Luxurians. Sorry, buddy, I bugged you. I just died though. It's just so cool. Are you kidding? Okay. Just delicious. And you can see like by this photo that it like, first off, he even says like on one of his captions, like people always think that I'm like using a black and white filter or something. And he's like, nope, I'm not. And you can tell he's not because you can see color on like the, it looks like he has like a picture TV or whatever. And you can see the color around like the frame of that. So you know that this is not just a black and white photo. You can also see the color of the wood on this cabinet that it's sitting on. And you can tell too that they're, sorry, good Lord. I can't be the only one that happens to like on the daily. But you can tell, oh, where is it? You can tell that like the leaf does have some green to it and that it truly just is that color. Get out of here. So incredible. Okay. Okay. This next one from Dark Anthuriums is Anthurium Papi Re-Gardens clone. Talk about sheen. Oh, so beautiful. And the shape of this guy is like, so like kind of, is that lance shape? Is that what they call that? So pointy, so beautiful, but also has some like kind of boulate texture. Again, I feel like I'm getting these terms wrong. Is it boulated? You'll have to school me down in the comments below, pretty please. But oh my God, so beautiful. And this other one is another Anthurium papilamatum, which as you can tell is just a dark, sexy plant in general. So like pretty much any hybrid of a poppy is gonna be just like freaking to die for. But this is the Ralph Lyman Cross Self. Oh my God, this one has more like kind of purpley maroony hues to it as well. And again, that texture and that shape. Ooh, and it looks like it's got red petioles. Okay, sign me up, dude. Okay, and then, oh, I could have swore I took screenshots of these other ones. Well, I guess I didn't take screenshots of those. I was just admiring. I was trying to really control myself with all of these super dark Anthurium and like Alocasia and Colocasia. So I actually did, I'm sorry for knocking this, I actually did practice some good self-control there. So yeah. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you're gonna be looking for any of these fun, spooky, sexy plants to add to your dark and spooky collection. Let me know if your collection is kind of that vibe, or I know maybe some people have like, just like a small section of their houseplant collection that is like their dark and spooky section where like they keep them all like in one little cute space. So let me know if you do that as well. I wanted to do a video like showcasing people's spooky plant spaces, but I was having a really difficult time finding them. So if you are one of those people that has a really spooky plant space, drop your Instagram down below so that we can all check it out and ooh and ah over your gorgeous space. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great and safe Halloween, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.